Hi, and thanks for tuning into our video. Today, we're reviewing tips for writing the best possible buddy letters and lay statements for your VA claims. For more information on how to complete and submit lay statements or a buddy letter, please see our blog post that's linked below. So, let's provide you with 3 tips for writing excellent buddy letters and lay statements that you can potentially use to aid in your filing for service connection or an increased rating claim. As of January 17, 2021, VA now requires that lay evidence be submitted on what's called the VA Form 21-10210. This form is also called Statement in Support of Claim. Now, generally, lay statements can be written by either a veteran or the veteran themselves, the family or friends of the veteran or other acquaintances, and even fellow service members, which is if you have a letter that's written by a fellow service member, we typically call those buddy statements. Now we're going to go over 3 tips for writing a strong lay statement or buddy letter. The first is competence and credibility. For VA to consider lay evidence, it must be deemed what VA calls competent and credible. So competency refers to the knowledge of the individual that is actually completing the statement. So anyone who prepares a lay statement for a veteran must have personal knowledge of what is being discussed. Now, when VA refers to the credibility, this is speaking to the reliability of what is being said in that statement. So that's tip number 1, competence and credibility. Tip number 2 is honesty. It's important to be honest when writing a strong lay statement, whether you're completing a buddy statement for somebody else or whether you're completing a statement as yourself, the veteran. Exaggerating symptoms can often do more harm than good and bring into question the writer's credibility, which, as we know from tip number 1, weighs heavily when VA is reviewing this as evidence. Speaking to any event that a person does not have knowledge of is also problematic and can negatively impact the veteran's claim. Now, on the contrary, it's important not to downplay the symptoms that you're experiencing either if you're submitting this for, say, an increased rating claim. If a veteran is writing a lay statement, they could potentially downplay their symptoms, which would often cause VA to not issue a correct rating or an accurate rating if the veteran does get service connection down the road. So that was tip number 2, honesty. And lastly, tip number 3 is detail. So being detail-oriented. Any statement in support of claim, whether it's written by the veteran themselves, their family members, or a fellow service member, they should be extremely detailed because the details can often give VA the information that they need in order to grant a very specific rating, which is oftentimes, hopefully, the most accurate rating. We would also encourage that you do not exaggerate or downplay the symptoms or limitations when you're completing the statement in support of claim. It's important to be honest about how your disability impacts your life. Those who are filling out buddy statements on behalf of a veteran should also apply the same principles to their statements, such as listing specific instances when they've witnessed the negative impacts of a veteran's condition, maybe any sort of mood changes or anything like that. We want people to include as much detail as possible to give the Department of Veterans Affairs a clear and accurate picture of the veteran's disability and how it impacts his or her daily life. So an example of, being detail-oriented could be, just another one off the top of my head is, if you're experiencing an in-service event or a stressor, they should be able to include details about the specific time, the place, and anybody else who may have been there and what happened during that veteran-specific stressor. Thank you for tuning into our video today. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more veteran-related content. Also, don't forget to check out our blog at cck-law.com. To learn more about filing a claim, check out our video on top 8 tips for winning your VA claim, which is going to be linked below. Thank you for watching.